Hi everyone. Hi. 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 Pardon me for leaving the recording. Anyway, didn't take very long. So it's Sunday, in the old days when I used to reside in paradise. I used to go into the sea, the warm sea of the Atlantic South Ocean, and swim with the sharks. Was my dad who put fear on me. That's parents for you. Forgive them. They don't know what they say. I swim with the shark all afternoon, later morning, afternoon, and then my dad, oh, be careful with the sharks. I was like, oh, fuck it, they are sharks. But hey, that's parents for you. They don't mean any harm. It's just they don't think like you. I swim with the sharks, and that was amazing time. Anyways, the message today is why religion is killing you slowly. Religion is killing you slowly. Slowly. Some religion tell you that if you don't give 10% of your income, monthly, weekly, or whatever it is, you are robbing God. Okay, the same religion says that God created everything. So hold on, I'm God. And I can't manifest money in a blink of an eye. What in God's names? What in God's name? I want your 10% of your misery salary. Why? Why do I want that? But you see, I believe in God, yeah, I told you, consciousness, what you call consciousness, what you call the universe, what you call God, what you call Allah, Yahweh, or whatever it is. There is a supreme positive energy in the universe that governs all the stars, the planets, everything that is in it. You know. But the supreme force, they don't particularly, control you because you are expression of the supreme force, the supreme being, what you call God. Now, she does not need your money. Remember, she's a God. She created trees where your stupid, psychotic money comes from. Your money's paper. What do we do with paper? We clean our asses, we write in it, we print stories. Why? She wanted 10% of your misery salary that you are going to miss in the end of the month. And while you going to church on a Sundays to worship the mark of the beast, your preacher goes to the church on a Sundays in a Mercedes or a BMW, or some expensive car, and then you go by feet, walking, because remember, we must sacrifice yourself for God, because God is stupid. retarded. No, she's nothing like that. She doesn't need you for nothing. There's nothing in this world that you can give for her to please her. She is the creator of this universe, and maybe this universe, and maybe other universes. Never mind. Let's not go. Look, my China don't even mention aliens, okay? Because like they say, they are aliens. They are not native of this planet Earth. Some religion, they claim to be her children. And then in the same contest, when she tells those children not to kill, after that she kills them, doesn't she? When Moses come from the mountain with the 10 commandments, and then Moses see you all behave like animals worshipping a cow, and then the same God that gave Moses the tablets not to murder, not to kill, he tell Moses to murder some of you assholes. Some religion believe in that, don't they? Don't they? They do. I mean, the same God that said to Moses not to kill, not to rob, not to do blah, blah, blah. I mean, and then just a few 10 minutes after, this same God killed a bunch of you. He murders some of you, and he steals, which is still your life, your freedom of speech, which now the human rights movement call the freedom of speech, the freedom of expression. So it feels to me this God of your books, I read your books, I read all of your books, I read Buddhism, and I haven't read Hinduism or anything like that, but they are all the same. In your books, your books are beautiful stories. The story, like I mentioned to you, the story of Job. It's a beautiful story. But I told you as well in my video that I don't really comprehend why God is going to make a business with Satan. Satan goes out and kills Job's children. I mean, he doesn't kill Job, but he kills the children. I mean, would rather, this psychotic God of your books, not mine. I read your books. I would rather the psychotic God, when he made this arrangement with Satan, would kill me rather than my children. Because I don't think there is nothing worse that a father or a mother goes through life after losing so many children. Yeah, the same psychotic God gave Job more children that were beautiful, blah, blah, blah. But this is a story. I told you to read the story of Job because it's inspiration. Yeah. Some people, not God, she doesn't do that, he doesn't do that. Some people take away your happiness. And some of you get hold of spirituality, what you call God. And then, the universe, her, the primordial force, sees your suffering, so she will compensate you. Not because, she made arrangement with Satan himself. No. Because, like I said, when you get in touch with your spirituality, therefore, your supreme force, therefore, the Mama Earth, the universe, she will listen to you. She's a lady. Ladies do not behave rusty. Ladies do not behave inappropriate. That's her. She's like that. She lives inside of you. Christ says the temple of God is inside of you, this biologic machine. We all aspects of her. Or if you want him, I call her him sometimes when I'm out of my mind, me. I mean, they have a diagnostic of bipolar. That's her. Okay? Coffee. Some people don't like coffee. I was talking to this guy the other day and he said, I don't like coffee. I said, oh, you drink tea? He said, yes, I like tea. I like coffee first and then I like tea after. G for what you call God. You see the G? I'm a goddess. Do you remember? I don't play games. Some religion says that Christ came, God came in the person of Christ, and that he touched us, he healed us, he fed 5,000 people, and then he died on a cross. He was sacrificed, and then he will come back. Okay, so hold on. He's already died for your sins, but nevertheless, he still has to come back to repair the damage that you have done on our planet. Really? Unless this Christ is mentally disabled, I don't know what he's playing games at, because he has already died for your sins 2020 years ago. Save your own asses. It's time now. You stop telling these stories. Yes, I heard some of you saying, oh, but you believe in God. No, I don't believe in God of your books. I never did, never will. When I was a little girl, very small, very innocent, I believe in something supernatural. I don't know. I just knew this universe was a random thing. You know, I used to look at the skies. I used to look at the sun. I used to look at people. You know, I had so many questions. You know, so many questions. You know, I had more questions than answer. And then my grandmother was a healer. She was a healer. You know, she was discriminated. She was discriminated. You know, she was harassed for what she believed. You know, because she believed she had some power to heal people, and she did, and so do I. Okay. So some of you, nah, believe that God created men and women. God created Adam and Eve. Okay, in the story of creation. But nevertheless, you go, hold on, this psychotic God of yours, not mine. My God is different of yours. He has always been different. I just got brainwashed in certain religion contest when I was young. And then after that, I got involved in the certain religion dogma. You know, and then until I release the chain. But some of you believe that God created Adam and Eve. And then God told them, go and play, procreate, something like that, flourish the earth, or whatever it is. But you go on to say in your books that you can marry more than one woman. You can marry 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't you in your books? So hold on just a second. Let me get this straight, because it's a very complex issue, isn't it? It doesn't make any sense. So the Most High, you know, created men and women, one man, one woman, to be together, to have babies and procreate the planet Earth. You believe in that, the story of creation. But and then in the other book, God also says that it's okay for you to marry 1, 2, 3, 4, or even more women, as long you can love them all. I don't believe in that. Okay? I am an old-fashioned girl. Maybe I have been a program by Hollywood, but I think when you meet someone and you have this sexual a desire which you call love, towards somebody, you can only experience this deed with this particular person. Okay? If you are in this mentality that you can love one, two, three, four, and even more women, that's psychotic. Okay? That is addiction to sex, addiction to pleasure, addiction to power. Some of you believe that your man in your religion, they can marry Christians, Jewish women. But your women in your religion cannot marry Christian and the Jewish religion. So it feels to me that from the beginning of your book, I use your book, I take some things of your book. I know I have already established that in here. I have left in recording. I cannot go back because some of your book, there's some truth, very little truth. Some of your book has got some truth, very little truth, what they stole from Asian Africa, Kemet, But some of your book is full of inconsistency, misleading truth. That's right, more that some of you pray on your knees, pray bowing down to the floor, pray banging your head towards the wall. Your situation doesn't get any better. After you pray, a bird comes and shit in your head. You enter into your car, somebody comes and crash you. So where is this God of yours? Somebody comes and invade your country, rape your children, rape your women in the name of the psychotic God. Apparently, God killed, I think he is 2 million or billion people in the Bible. You Google it. Let's go to Google now. Okay, Google, how many people did the God kill in the Bible? It doesn't say here. They wouldn't dare put it on Google. Anyway, but a God killed 2 billion, I don't know how many, because you remember when this God of yours, this psychotic God, which claims that he's a jealous God, there is no God like him, you must worship him, you must bow down to him, you are not entitled to worship any other God, there is no any other God like him. This God is what the psychiatrists describe as narcissistic tendency. Yes, I told you that I'm a little bit narcissistic, but not because I'm a psychotic person. Okay, I am in love with myself. After so long, I realize I'm beautiful. I am perfect, and if the universe, therefore he, whatever it is, don't love me the way I am, they made a mistake, not me. Because according to your books, God knows everything. God created everything. So if he or she cannot love me the way I am, it's their mistake, not mine. But I do not believe in your gods. I never did, never will. I got involved with your gods, and in my life, that's when I got sectioned and drugged, and all the things happened to me when I got involved with your gods. Okay? Yes, my email address is zilda9yahweh at gmail.com. But when I say Yahweh, not your Yahweh, the Yahweh I perceive, which is the whole or the holiness of the whole. She is the above of the above, but she is so confident with herself that she doesn't need to tell you to worship her. She doesn't need your worship. She runs the show. She is the actress that when she walks on a stage, she knows all eyes is gonna be in her. She doesn't need to introduce herself. She is what it is. She is supreme. You know her presence by just as she stands there and doesn't say nothing. That's the universe. That's her. That's, you call him if you want him, whatever. I call her because I'm a woman. That's her. She lives in you. She's a speck of you. This is her temple. The reason why some of you create a temple is because of the weather. Because you lost your concept of God. What is God? Okay, this is your temple. Your temple. Okay? There is nothing in this physical realm that you will do to please her. She is intelligent enough that whatever you do to gain her attention, she knows already your intention. Bear in mind, she's not the God of your scriptures, of your books. Okay, she's not. You can't describe her in your small minds. You don't have description or intellect to talk about her. The universe. What you call the universe. You have used her concept, consciousness, her concept to make war against your brothers and sisters. You murder so many people in name of her. She's not very amused with you. She is extremely, tired of you using her name to destroy your own kind. You don't get it, okay? Every time when you use the concept of God to advance your agenda, you are digging a big, massive grave to your souls, your spirit. That's why some religion says you come back as a flea, as a worm, because you have to go through all this process of reincarnation to be able to evolve again as a physical human biology machine, because you gave so much destruction to this realm. Unless you do like some spirits that just stay remaining here lost, that are making people's lives hell, feeding of your emotions, emotions, you know. You gotta stay here. You gotta, but if you go to where you're supposed to go, you gotta be judged. You gotta go through the laws of Ma'at. Ma'at. You have to weigh your heart, your heart against the feather. If it's heavy than the feather, you get devoured. Means that your spirit won't be able to experience physical reality anymore. So therefore, you're not gonna have chocolate and the sex and the wine anymore. It's a very sad thing, isn't it, for you? It is. And I tell you what, a cup of coffee is really nice, honestly. So you will not experience in anywhere another cup of coffee. Even in other physical reality, you cease to exist because she is also justice. She is not like your God that get jealous of everything. He's jealous of God knows what, even his own image. If somebody makes an image that they thinks it's your God from your scripture, he gets jealous. No, this is not me. Kill them. He's stoned to death. He's stoned to death. If you walk on a Sabbath, get them, bring them, and they stoned to death. Really? And do you think a supreme being that created the universe and even the universes are going to behave like that, like jealousy? Do you know who feels jealousies now and again? I used to feel jealous of my mom if she gave attention to other children. I did. Yeah, I must admit. I used to, I don't know, maybe because I was obsessed about my mom. Not so much about my dad, very much, but my mom. So I used to be like, wow, no, give attention to me, mom. Me. It's just, this is a little kid. Remember, I love kids, and I think kids are holy. Okay? But they like the moms, they want the moms for themselves. That is it God, a child? So who is this God of yours to tell us to behave as an adult when he behaves like a toddler, like I used to behave towards my mom? Tell me. I'm going to tell you a story. I told this story to somebody another day. My grandmother was a healer. So my mother was a learner from my grandmother. So she used to help my grandmother. And then one day we were having fun. I was playing. My mom was there. She was paying attention to me. So I was happy. I was the center of her attention. I was very small. I must be a toddler or younger than a toddler. Suddenly, this group of people came to my house with this little boy. It was a little boy. I believe he was much older than me because he looks big in this woman's arm. And they were weeping, crying, And my grandmother, I think they weren't expecting, I'm not sure, but soon this boy walking towards, my grandmother and my mom, that's it. The spirit of jealous possessed me. That's me. And then I run to my mother. So the boy was given to my grandmother's arms. My grandmother was giving this prayer under this blah blah. I can't remember very much. I was younger than a toddler. I couldn't walk because I was walking. And everybody was watching this boy and therefore my grandmother who was doing the prayer. Guys, Satan got into me. I got so jealous of my grandmother, which I love, perhaps even more than my grandmother, my mom, but I love them both. I was like, what? Me, honestly. I was like, what? That's it. I got my fingers like this. And I went when nobody was seeing me. I paid attention. I was looking like this. And nobody could see me. So I went there. I just peach. Peach? Is that what you call in English? I don't even know. In Portuguese, we call beliscão. Beliscão. I went like this. But very strong. As strong as I could put my strength in this little boy. And I did this. Man, suddenly this boy gave a scream. You know, honestly, he gave a scream. I was like, oh my God. I felt so terrified because I thought people was going to, my mother, I wasn't worried about people. I was worried about my mother, my grandmother. But do you know, they never saw it and they start praising, like go even louder, blah, 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 blah. Apparently this boy was dying, dying. They came to bring him like lifeless. I don't know if it was my beliscão, whatever it is in English. Look at this. Or my grandmother prayers, but the boy came back to life. He came back to life. And then after that, I was there frozen, But I did that through jealousy, because this little boy was getting all the attention of everybody, and I was left like what the psychopath system called neglect. I was feeling neglected. And this boy came back alive and they started crying. And then I had somebody say, give him water, water, whatever. So I stood, I didn't say nothing. I just stood there feeling guilty and, And then they sat down and they thank you, my grandmother. They give my grandmother gifts and God knows what, And my mother, as soon as the boy start kicking off and they're going crazy, blah, 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 blah. My mother picked me up and they start crying and this and that. And then I didn't say my mom. I said, Mom, I pitched the boy and he screamed. But I kept quiet, me. I'm not stupid. So I'm very intelligent. So, and then everybody was happy, and my mom was crying, and they gave me a cuddle and a kiss, and it was like, oh, I have my mom back. That was my only concern, having my mom back. She wasn't, I wouldn't dare, letting her give this boy all the attention. So I got my mom back. I cuddled her as well, and they sat down. They had their drink, no alcohol, okay, just like coffee, and they talk and this and that, and they went. I never said that to anybody until I was old now. I told a friend of mine, and then I'm telling you now, okay? So, but I was a kid. Yes, the boy did survive. I don't know if it was because I did this to him, very strong. I remember putting all my strength, but I was driven by jealousy, okay? So that was me, a toddler, very young toddler, a kid. Is God behaving like that? No, remember, she doesn't need to do this. I did this, she just need to think, and then the boy would come back alive, But according to your God, he gets jealous, he gets insecure, he has to kill other communities, other societies in order for him to conquer the land that he promised to give to you, which didn't even belong to him, which there was already people living there. Your God is messed up, And then the psychiatrist called me a bipolar. Do you know how I got diagnosed with bipolar? After I got involved in the evangelist movement, because you see, before then, I was living my life. I was good. Everything was okay. I have this concept of the master, creator, but I didn't have very many analogy or anything like that. And two people told me, read the Bible, read the Bible. I said, why am I going to read that book? I would rather read the other books. I was into other books, And then I got involved with your concept of God. That's the first time I got sexual, which wasn't bad because, and then I realized, yes, there is a supreme being, but I was thinking a supreme being as your God, your entity, okay? So I got locked up, I got drugged up, I got described medication for my madness. I got all sorts. Okay. And then after that was one hospitalization after another. Okay. And then in 2013, I said, that's it. I am not going to believe in this nonsense anymore. After that, I got hospitalized twice, only twice. 2015, because and then I told myself, I do not believe in Jesus, that he is the Son of God. That's it. It doesn't make any sense, because more than I pray for this Jesus, more than the social psychotic system locks me up in a mental institution. So I gave up the thought of Jesus being God himself, blah, 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 blah. You know. And then in 2016, I broke 2 glasses. I was hungry. I was very hungry. So I broke some plates in next door house. I just threw the plates and I broke it. I went to my garden wearing my bra, just my bra under my pants. And then I broke 2 glasses in front of my street. 2 tall glasses, glasses that you drink water. So the neighbor called the police. They came. They I knew I was gonna get wrong. I just knew. So I hid behind the sofa, and they put the door down because I didn't open. I knew they were gonna do that anyway. So they put the door down with all those things, and they arrest me straight away. Okay, they arrest me. They put me in the police station for 3 to 4 days. And I was angry. I was raged. Never mind angry, raged. I was. And then I was moved to a mental institution. And then after 2 months, they let me come home. Okay, yeah, it was my fault in some degree. I know. But then I realized that I was worshiping the wrong God, the wrong entity. Yes, my email says Yahweh, but when it says Yahweh, it's not the Yahweh that some people believe. It's the Yahweh of the most El, the supreme El, she, her. I call she, her. Sometimes I call him, whatever. Yeah. Um, and so when I say my channel is for people that believe, you see, a religion, no religion, yeah, religion people as well, because they can learn something from it. They might live. I mean, in your own books, Jesus says, "Come out of her, my people, so you don't get burned." Jesus is talking to the mean mother of the religion which has been controlling this world for a long time. I'm not going to give names anymore. YouTube has already told us to behave ourselves. And then there's her daughters, her other religions sect. I believe, that's my belief. That's my theory. Everybody can have a theory. You remember the monkey theory is just a theory. I believe that God, the supreme force, the El mean force, is watching to find who is spiritually, worthy to habitate the fifth realm, the 5D realm. And no many of you are going to be able to, because you are too intertwined into religion dogma, which is killing your souls, because you have to sacrifice animal for this entity. Some religions still sacrifice young, beautiful animals for this entity. Some religion is still paying money to this entity, 10%. Some religion is still believing that you have to kill other beings because they don't believe in this entity. Okay, I don't have nothing to do with the atheist. Okay, I still love them, not unconditionally, but I love them with compassion. Okay, because I do not believe there is nothing in this universe, just like life is just random, just happen. No, I don't believe in that. That's what the atheists believe. So I don't believe in that. So I don't connect very much with them. Okay, I believe the universe is order, order in order. Everything's perfect harmony. She is not crazy, just like I'm not. I'm not a bipolar disordered person. This is a label given to me by some psychotic people that believe there's such a thing. I started my spiritual awakening in 2006 after I got involved with the evangelist movement, when I realized, yes, the universe is perfect. There are laws that govern the universe. But then, in my confusion, I was misled to believe this entity of your books was the same entity that governed the universe. No. This entity of your books is a low vibration entity who feeds from your money, your animals sacrifice, and your freedom, your spiritual freedom. Okay, so this entity I left to one side. Last time I got assessed by a psychiatrist. Look, psychiatry is supposed to involve only psychiatry, but look at the question of the psychiatrist. He said, you are not going to the church anymore. Why not? I said, well, because first of all, if I start going to the church again, I'm going to be a hypocrite because I don't believe Christ is God. So, he put in a psychiatric assessment that I was going crazy again. You see, if you say that, yeah, Christ is God, blah, 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 they will lock you up. But if you say Christ is not God, blah, 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 they will lock you up. You cannot win in this crazy, psychotic, hypomanic society. In each way, you will lose. They don't want you to believe in a high, supreme being, force, and at the same time, they don't want you to reject this concept of Christ being God himself. Because the aim of the system is to stop your spiritual development. Because they know you are gods, you are goddesses, you are, from the age of 0 to the age of 7, you are downloading information from your environment, okay? From your environment, from your parents, from, the environment around you. After that, you start having more or less a concept what is wrong and what is right. You start asking questions. That's right. Some children ask a lot of why questions. And that's the best questions to ask. Okay? So that's right. The system obligate you to send your children to school so they can indoctrinate the children in their lies, in their misinformation, with their nonsense, telling the children this and this about colonization and all this silliness. That's right, the children nowadays, they are so restless at classes. That's right, the psychiatrists come with the concept of ADHD, those children disease, those children dysfunctional problem. No, your children are very intelligent. They can't see through the lies. They know some of the things touching a school is not going to serve them in anything in this life. That's why your children cannot pay attention to the classes. They couldn't give a shit about the teacher. They couldn't give a shit about the headmasters because your children know. Remember, every generation is supposed to be above the last generation. Your children are much smarter than you were when you were young. That's why I love my children. My children couldn't give a shit about me. I call them, they tell me how straight it is. I'm too busy, I'm talking, I'm always trying to contact my children. Is that because they are bad children? No, because they know better. They know I was just a vessel for them to come through in this physical realm. They don't have to worship me. They don't have to do anything, for me. I'm the one who should do things for them, you know. That's your children. The children are not responsible for your happiness. You are fucking responsible for your own happiness. And you are responsible for your children in terms of making sure that they are safe from predators. There is no space for this time now for religion. Whoever is stuck in religion is losing their soul. That's right, your book says that only 144,000 are going to be able to make it, to progress without any harm to the next level. Because some of you are stuck in this concept that God told you to kill some people in order for you to take the land and to leave it there. This is a primitive ideology. You do not murder people that have been living the land for hundreds of years because you think some psychotic entity promised you the land. If the land was yours, why the land was habited in the first place? If God really had the land to you, why did he let, the supreme massive being, why did he let people live in that land in the first place? He created the land. Stop the nonsense. And then you call me bipolar, psychotic person? I still believe in her. Okay? And I told you the other video that if she wants to kill me and murder me in front of you, she would. But she's not like that. It's just my concept of her. She is the giving of life, not of death. Death comes through your hands and the hands of others. She is the giver of life. She has resuscitated me from death many times. When I tried to commit suicide, I thought I was going to die. No, I woke up with the police arresting me. Okay, arresting me. I was like, what? I was confused. I was like, I thought I was dead. The police was arresting me. I spent 6 hours in a police station. She's not the destroyer of life. She's the giver of life. She does not tell you to murder your friend because he lives in a house that she wants to give to you. Fuck. If you have to murder your friend because she wants to give you the house, why she doesn't murder your friend in the first place, instead of you getting your hands filthy? Why do you have to get your hands filthy with the blood of your brother and a sister for you to be able to habitate the house? It doesn't make any sense. Nobody's buying any more to your lies. Only some fool. That's right, I don't blame the atheists because I sympathize with them. Although I don't relate it to them, but I sympathize with them because they see the nonsense. What this psychotic entity that you create your own books do with other people. In your book says that you're not supposed to mess with magic, né? With a divination, I don't know, other things. Yet, God gives Joseph the ability to interpret Pharaoh, pardon me, Pharaoh's dream. That's a divination. And Joseph become one of the biggest, prime minister in Egypt. In your book says not to mess with magic. Yet Solomon apparently had a ring that he controlled the demons. So it just doesn't make any sense, people. You are full of nonsense. Like Ralph Smart says, I don't know if it's his quote, but he says, Ralph Smart says, religion is for people that is afraid of going to hell. Spirituality is for people that have already been to hell. That's why I call myself spiritual. I am into spirituality. I have no desire to engage anymore in religion. My sister is a very religion person, and I talk to her in the religion context. When I engage with her, I go down to her level. I tell her, yeah, Jesus loves you, praise Jesus, because I love my sister. We are in different level. You see, she's scared of hell. I'm not. She's scared of Satan. I'm not. You know? Maybe she has got some issue which she done in the past, which she's scared of. I'm not. I know what I have done in the past. And perhaps it's her journey in life. My journey is another direction. We are all different. We are all different people, experience different realities, but from the same energy, the same source, which is her, the Criadora. It's time to wake up, okay? You believe in Jesus, that he's coming back, okay? You believe so much that this entity, Jesus Christ, is coming back, even though he was murdered by your own people 2020 years ago, but he still has to come back to clean your asses. That's how disabled you are. That's right. That's how you are unable to take responsibility for anything. You see your brother suffering, crying, and you cannot even give a shit because he's from another religion than yours. It's good for him to go through this pain because he doesn't believe in the same God as you do. He's your brother. He's your sister. She's your sister. You stop and you ask them why they are crying. You talk to them, give you attention. Maybe that's all they need. They need somebody to talk to. If they're going to talk to somebody else, they're probably going to lock them up in a mental institution because they are crazy. They are locking everybody else as a crazy people now. I have been locked up for so many times. I cannot even remember. 7 times, 8 times. One day I was talking to the priest of the church, a South African man. And I was, God is very beautiful. God. He said, no God. He said, Jesus. I look at him, I was like, what do you mean? He said, no God, Jesus. You see, these people go to the same school to be indoctrinated to tell you that Jesus. It's not Jesus, it's her. It's the supreme force, nature, Mother Earth. Via Lacta. Men don't give milk in breast. Women do via lacta. Milk whey, milk whey. Where's the milk come from? The milk come from the female aspect of life, of physical reality. Dogs, toms, lions don't have milk. Only the lionesses, only the queens, only the bitches, which you call bitches, have milk for their puppies, for their kittens, for their calves. Milk Way via lacta. It's a feminine energy universe. You stop supreme feminine. You stop suppress feminine energy. It's going to bite your asses. It's a feminine universe. She, her, gives life. That's right. When we are in the womb as an embryo, it's all female. After so long, it's a male or female. But while it's still small, they cannot really tell you if it's a male or female because it's all female. So some religion is okay. They believe in God. God created Adam and Eve. Nevertheless, they still go. God created Adam and Eve, therefore a husband and a wife. But they go out and they marry more women that they can count in their fingers just because they have money. Money, money, your God. That's your God. That's the God of your scripture. Money. That's your God of the Torah. Money. That's your God of the Quran. Money. Money. That's right, in a dollar bill says, in God we trust, in money we trust. That's your God. The God that is destroy everything that's beautiful in this magic planet. It's a planet of magic. In the book of Kabbalion says the universe is mentalist, is mental. So stop thinking about nonsense. You are scared of going to hell because, if you don't believe in Jesus, if you don't believe in God, if you dare don't believe in the Holy Spirit, that's it. You are condemned. But at the same time, you go to other people's land and invade other people's environment, destroy their history, everything in name of your psychotic God because he's jealous, he's insecure, he needs money, he doesn't like other people because the other people think different of him. Come on, people. Come on. While you are dwelling in this idiotic ideology, your children are being raped, murdered, sacrificed for this entity, this evil entity. I'm never going to stop to love my sister, but we have got different ideology. I grow up spiritually. She's still in the density of this nonsense religion, but she helps me because she has got some faith. But I am getting to the point now. I can't. I don't. I choose not to argue with her anymore over religion. Not because I think I'm gonna lose or something like that. Because everybody's in different spiritual path. You know. Pardon me. I love you all. We all have great potential to change this physical reality for a better reality. But some of you are getting worse, getting brainwashed by your television, your books, your entities. You are lost. You are lost, and that you don't know even where to go. Okay? Stop. It's time to grow up now. Namaste.